The next item on the agenda, I'll be reading the citation. Please, do we have one else? I'll be reading the citation of Dr. Faruk Abubakar, the Secretary General and Registrar of the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. Faruk Umar Abubakar was born over 50 years ago at Wuno Village, Wuno Local Government Area, Sokoto State. He started his primary education in 1971 in Wuno Village. He attended Government College, Sokoto, and completed his secondary school in 1983. He commenced his professional nursing education training in 1984 at the School of Nursing, Sokoto, before proceeding to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, for Bachelor's of Nursing, BSc in Nursing in 1995, after which he attended University of Ghana for Masters of Science, MSc Nursing in 2012, and Masters of Science in Public Administration from Usmanu Danfodio University, Sokoto. He completed his National Youth Service Corps in 1996. He also bagged PhD in nursing in 2020 from Miriam Abacha American University, Maradi, Niger Republic. He holds several professional qualifications and is registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria as a registered nurse in 1987 and registered nurse educator in 1996. He is also a fellow of West Africa College of Nursing. He has also worked in several capacities, including being the acting head of Department of Nursing Science, Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, and he was one of the facilitators of BSc Nursing program at National Open University of Nigeria, now. He was once the state facilitator, mandatory continuing professional development program for nurses, MCPDP, Sokoto State, and also as an assistant secretary, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Sokoto State Council, between 1996 and 2001. He rose from nurse educator to become the provost of the College of Nursing and Midwifery, Sokoto State, from where he was appointed the Secretary General and Registrar of the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria on October 3rd, 2016, based on his wealth of wisdom and experience, which have been witnessed in the nursing profession as of today. He has attended several workshops at national and international levels, and he has authored several academic papers. He is married and blessed with children. His hobbies include reading and playing volleyball. I present to you Dr. Umar Faruk Abubakar. Thank you, sir, for being here today. I'd also like, please, can we give a round of applause? Applause, please. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you,
we
Prof.
welcome you, powerful.
Yes,
we welcome you, sir.
Sister and the Prof. Adejimo, Mississippi. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me first and foremost thank the Almighty God for the opportunity that is given to witness this very important and very interactive session focused on young nurses, initiated by these are elegant, hardworking, and experienced professors that we are proud of. Let me also recognize my chair, Dr. Bola Opi, who has spoken very widely and who has been a mother to the nursing profession, not only in Nigeria, in Africa, and share global. I want to thank you, Ma, for a very good mentor speech that you also give to this younger one. In fact, you have spoken wide, you from the bottom, top, and also from the historical perspective of the nursing profession. That's why the mother has spoken. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, sir. To the organizers of this very important initiative focused on young nurse initiative by our two elegant professors, I want to thank you. This is the second webinar meeting you are organizing in order to give the focus to young Nigerians. And like what my chairman has rightly highlighted, the issue of nursing profession today is not the same of profession of yesterday. The profession is taking a wider focus with direction. And we thank God today, we have elegant professors that has taken this initiative to mentor our younger ones that are coming on board. I also want to congratulate our younger generation today. You are lucky you come to the nursing profession when it is stabilized, especially here in Nigeria. The profession with a vision and a profession with a lot of initiative, with a lot of mission, focusing in order that is struggling in line with any other profession today in this country. I want to say that this initiative that is initiated by the two elegant professors given to you, you need to take it with two hands, not to play with it, because the profession today is focusing, as I want to say that the profession is witnessing, we have about 38 departments of nursing in this country. Every young Nigerians today want to join nursing at degree level. And I want to say that apart from the 38 accredited department of nursing that is offering degree of nursing, we have additional 11 universities that have started postgraduate program. And therefore, the younger one, this is the multiple opportunity you have in order to wider, like what the chairman has rightly said, first degree is not enough. We have a bundle of opportunity. With this initiative given by the elegant professors, please don't stay with just one degree. Focus forward your education so that you'll be able to have masters and PhD. That you can be able to make difference in our healthcare system delivery. I want to add today, at the level of National Midwifery Council, we have refocused our nursing education, that all our first basic program, we are changing it to postgraduate program so that you'll be able to focus on that direction, so that you have your masters, you have your PhD in any different area of your interest, medical surgical nursing with different specialization, ophthalmic nursing, ENT nursing, accident emergency, orthopedic nursing, pediatric nursing, etc., etc. All these is giving you the focus so that be able to provide excellent healthcare delivery to our client and make difference in our generation. So I urge the younger one to make use of these multiple opportunity, these golden opportunity provided by our experienced, dedicated, and hardworking professors that has taken this initiative to give you this mentoring approach. So I want to advise you strongly, make use of this multiple opportunity and now educate yourself. You can take yourself to the highest level anywhere in the world. Especially today, I want to tell you that nursing is being recognized worldwide. You can attest to that. Nigerian nurses are one of the best, I can say, all over the world. And I can attest to that, looking at the higher outflux of our young nurses that are living in this country, was in thousands that are living in this country in Guinea Foster, and they are being recognized, absorbed, and now being employed. So I also want to urge you and remind you that nursing, you should have the interest of nursing with passion, not the interest of you want to just acquire a status. You are also joining the nursing profession because you have opportunity of going to diaspora, seamlessly and without any difficulty. Not to join the profession because there is a multiple opportunity of employment, but have the interest of nursing profession at heart, have the interest of their people, and have the interest of patient and client, so that you can be able to change and improve the well-being and health status of the individual that is coming to you as your own client. So with this few remarks, I want to thank the organizers of this very important educational forum, focus on the young nurses, the future of Nigerian nurses. This is the opportunity. Make use of it And I want to strongly advise, avoid being distracted by social media, avoid being diverted by wasting your time in social media, destroying the image of our profession. Use the social media to promote the image of the nursing profession. Now, these elders, they have given you the best mentoring, and I want to advise you to make use of it and promote the image of nursing profession. Nursing profession is competing with any other profession in the world, and I want you to do the same in Nigeria, so that let the public continue to recognize, continue to uplift, continue to recognize our dear profession. And I want to conclude to say, the WHO has declared nursing profession constitutes more than 54% of workforce in any hospital, and therefore, I want to add to say that the former Honorable Minister of Health, Professor Adewale, said, nurses constitute without nurses in the hospital, there is no hospital. Therefore, nurses remain relevant in our healthcare delivery, and you have seen the positive impact nurses have created. Even in the last episode of the COVID-19, without nurses, in fact, the country will have been a mess. But today, because of the commitment and the hard work and sacrifice of the nurses, the COVID-19 become manageable in this country with less fatal effect, with the good outcome and the good success. And our Nigerians have less fatal impact of this COVID-19 as compared with other countries. With this few remarks, I want to thank and appreciate Professor, Mrs. and Mr. Adejumo for this very good initiative. I want to assure you of NUNSA Midwifery continuous commitment and sacrifice and continuous support to this kind of initiative. And I also appeal to our other elders in the profession to also think of giving their own support and this kind of approach as provided by Professor, Mr. and Mrs. Adejumo to our young generation and young nurses. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Umar Abubakar. We appreciate you for that brief introduction. I'd also like to welcome the National President of NUNSA, the first female National President. Isn't that awesome? Khadijat Musa, you are so welcome to today. I'd also like to introduce the moderator for the panel discussion, Professor Priska Olabisi Adejumo, the immediate past head of Department of Nursing, University of Ibadan. And a quick announcement, please. For your question and answer, on the top right hand of your screen, you will see Q&A. You can start dropping in your questions there, and we'll take it up when it is time. Right now, we'll set the ball rolling for the panel discussion for the next 40 minutes thereabout. And then I would like and implore every one of us, please let us be attentive, take notes, pick the points, ask questions. We shouldn't leave here the same way we have come. So thank you so much. I welcome Professor Priska Adejumo to set the ball rolling. Thank you once again, everybody, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, but I would really like to hear from our President, Madam Khadijat Musa. I'd like her to say a few words. I'm so excited to see a female as the President. This is the female word, and I'm so happy and excited. Madam President, please, let's hear some words from you quickly before we begin the question and answer. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, good day, my leaders in nursing. Special recognition to the Registrar, National and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, Nurse Abubakar Umar Faruk. Recognition to Nurse Dr. Bola Ofi. Special recognition to Professor Mr. and Mrs. Adejumo. Thank you so much for the opportunity to grace this association. My name is Khadijat Musa, the 26th National President of the Nigerian Universities Nursing Student Association. NUNSA is an association for universities nursing students across the country. The association comprises about 45,000 members across 46 institutions in the country. Our major aims and objective in NUNSA is to protect and pursue the academic excellence in all ramifications to uplift the nursing profession. The association is one which holds the prestige of nursing profession in IST. I am optimistic that before the end of this program, the voice of the young nurses will be amplified. Thank you, Professor, Dr. Mr. and Mrs. Adejumo, for the opportunity to grace this occasion.
Thank you. Now we are going to begin the question and answer.
Our president, that's well delivered. Very right on point. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming. You are greatly appreciated.
Okay, now to the questions that we have so far. I have questions for the registrar and I have questions for you. So let me start with you. The first question to you, Miss Khadijat, says that there's a popular saying that the young ones are leaders of tomorrow. Do you think young Nigerian nurses have any role to play in leadership today? That's the question for you, Miss Khadijat. We are waiting for your answer.
Thank you very much for the question, Ma. You see, just like you said, there's an old saying that nurses eat their young ones. Most of the time, whenever I hear this question, what I tell people is, those who want to be eaten will be eaten.
Oh, is that network?
Please unmute yourself. Network, yes, okay, yes.
Unmute yourself.
I think that's network from her. So let's go to the registrar, and I hope she will be back. Registrar, sir, are you in still with us? Because I can see the chair empty. Registrar, please, the question for you. I'm looking forward to having the registrar come on. Okay, while we are waiting for the registrar and Miss Khadijat, I think is her network that's acted up there. So while we are waiting for her and we are waiting for the registrar, because the question for registrar is a little bit different from that. The registrar is back. So welcome, sir.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Question for you is that there's a popular saying that the young ones are leaders of tomorrow. And we want to ask you, sir, if you think that young Nigerian nurses have a role to play in leadership today. That's question number one for you, sir. Over to you.
All right, Prof. Thank you very much. Mr.
I think the registrar is also having network challenges out there. Okay, I'm just going to.
Can we be able to give?
We actually didn't hear you, sir. If you will take that again, that would be very nice. I think the registrar is completely off the radar.
Hello?
Hello, we didn't hear that. Can you take it again, sir?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear your hello, but we did not hear your response.
All right, hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, all right, thank you, Prof. and distinguished audience. What I'm saying that the role of young in leadership is apparent and important in moving our profession. Therefore, the younger one must be involved in mentorship. They must be involved and serve as facilitator in leadership role. And from time to time, they need to be carried along in active responsibility in leadership style in our respective institution, so that they are the younger one and they are the future of leaders tomorrow. Without mentoring them to that strength, then we are now missing the link. Therefore, I advocate and encourage the leaders of today to always involve the younger one in the activity, so that they can be mentored and can be supervised, can be directed, so they can be able to mold them for future leadership of their profession tomorrow. Therefore, the answer is, it is important to involve the younger one in leadership style, in leadership activities of their profession.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful response. We appreciate it. There's a question that is coming up immediately after that, but I think Miss Khadijat is back, and so we'd like her to conclude a line before we return to you once again, sir. This is question and answer time, and there are so many questions here for you, sir, the registrar, and of course for our president. So over to you, Miss Khadijat, to conclude your line before we move to the next question.
Okay, I'm so sorry about the break in transmission. It's actually
okay.
Network over here. Okay, so back to the question. Thank you very much for asking that question. You're asking if young nurses have any role to play in leadership. Actually, I was expecting what are the roles of young leadership, because, okay, I'm a student nurse. I'm a young leader in nursing.
I think the line is fluctuating. Oh, we are going to arrest this network. Sorry about that. It's okay. We will see, wait and hope she will get back to us. Before we get back to her, Registrar, sir, somebody responded, Pride Collins, said that many nurses are running abroad because of the way nurses are being treated in Nigeria. How do you see this, sir? And this panel is open. If you have any comment you want to make apart from Registrar and Miss Khadijat, you can please kindly raise up your hand, electronic hand, and then you can be enabled to speak and we can hear your voice. So the question now is, many nurses are running abroad because of the way nurses are being treated in Nigeria. How do you see this?
Well, Prof, thank you very much. But I think the word treated is a relative term. The person that asking that question needs to be precise. What kind of treatment and what perspective are they referring to treatment? Because when you say treatment, is it positive treatment or negative treatment? That's why they are running away. So I think the person who had that question must be precise and now go straight to what kind of, because I knew there was a remarkable improvement in terms of health institution in this country. I know this in 2021 budgetary provision, there was a procurement of so many equipment in order to improve the working environment and almost all the teaching hospitals and the paramedical centers across the country. And I know that there are a lot of effort in terms of policy formulation of nurses' scheme of service. The issue of the error created from the internship from the scheme of service for the enrollment of or rather placement of the intern is being addressed squarely, and relevant organs of government is doing all possible way in order to arrest that issue. And I have made a presentation before the National Council of Establishment last year, and I have made our point, and I'm sure those in sessions have taken note of our concern and the concern of the younger one. So if that's the issue that they are referring, I want to assure them that the government is doing all. The National Midwifery Council, the National Division, and the Federal Minister of Health, the Honorable Minister, they are doing all possible ways to correct the error created when the circular was released on the issue of internship implementation at various levels. So I want to add the issue of shortage of nurses, if that's the way they are treated, well, that is not the way, and I'm sure we have been spoken to various health institutions to address the issue. And I want to add to say that there has been a directive from the government that teaching hospitals should employ more nurses that can be handled the nursing care at various levels. So I want probably the little I can understand from this question, I think I had responded on that aspect. But the issue of how they are treated I don't even understand. Probably, maybe if there is further clarification, then I will also add. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much, sir. I think you've dealt with that question very well, and we really appreciate the in-depth and other information that you have provided. The next question really has to do with what you have mentioned, but let me read it so that the questioner will know that the question was really actually read. The person said, what is your take on the rate of migration of young nurses from Nigeria? I know you mentioned it in the course of, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. This person is concerned about the rate at which young nurses are leaving our country. And this person just wants to know your own perspective about it. Over to you, sir.
All right, thank you, Prof, for that issue of migration of nurses. But I want to tell the Nigerian nurses to know that migration of nurses is a fundamental right of individual. Nobody can stop the individual that may wish to travel or to leave the country. That is one apart. Two, on the part of the National Midwifery Council, we are putting a number of measures in order to close the gap. We have increased the intake of all schools of nursing. We have increased the intake of university in order to close the gap. More nurses have been trained in order to close the gap. And that is a justification to tell you Nigerian nurses are among the best in the world. And because India globally, I have confidence in our trained nurses and they are absorbing them and employing them. So the question of nurses are leaving, well, that is a fundamental human right. And nobody can stop any individual that may wish to leave the country in either search of greener pasture or because of better working environment, or you want to have more experience where there are advanced technology and other modern equipment in order to give excellent healthcare delivery. And I want to believe the country will also benefit from their wealth of experience after they have served that particular country after some time. They may come back with that wealth of experience, and it's Nigeria that will benefit. And Nigeria will also benefit to have quality healthcare and the quality outcome of our healthcare delivery that we are rendering. That's all I can say as far as the migration of nurses. And nobody can stop anybody. But rather, we also encourage the younger ones to always have the interest of their own people at heart, not the interest of diaspora at heart, while they have the skills and knowledge, so that contribute your quota and improve the well-being of your Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think our president is back. Are you in? Can you finish up your thoughts so that we go to the next question for you?
Yes, ma. Okay, so let me quickly roll over the role of the young nurse in leadership. Young nurses, we are active key players in providing creative and strategic solutions to healthcare problems. Apart from the fact that we are young into the professions, we are well updated in the current trends and latest happenings in the nursing profession. The young leaders are drivers of change in the health sector. The young leaders also present their ability, innovative and creative development with high care, with high quality health services for people in need. But the major, okay, let me not talk about the problems. I will stop here on the role of the young nurse leaders. Hopefully we'll get to the problems later. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Miss Khadijat. We appreciate that. The second question to you, which we would really like you to think about and to reflect on now, is, in your opinion, what are the challenges of young nurses in Nigeria? As number one nurse among nursing students, what do you think are the challenges that Nigerian nursing students are facing right now that you would like to enlighten us on? Are you still on? Hello, Miss Khadijat,
okay,
are you on?
Okay, yes, ma'am, yeah. Okay, now talking briefly about the challenges. Actually, we have a lot of challenges, but I'll try to focus on the main challenges which I believe should be paid urgent attention to. The very first challenge on my list is the issue of mentorship. We have little to zero mentorship opportunities on career and professional development. Then the second thing I'll be talking about is funding for local initiatives developed by young nurses. We have so many nurses out there, especially student nurses with skills or abilities in one area or the other. but they have little opportunities, or there are little funds available to.
Go ahead, we can hear you, go ahead.
Then we also have the issue of poor remuneration in workplace and low autonomy in delivering services in the healthcare. Recently, okay, just a few weeks ago, I was with one of my mentors in nursing. Then she asked the question, she was like, Khadijat, is there any role or any duty of a nurse which is autonomy to just the nurses alone, that no healthcare practitioner does? It took me about 5 minutes to think. And at the end of the day, I was able to come up with almost nothing. We do not have a well-defined role or function in the healthcare system. Then also is the lack of involvement in policy and decision-making in both the local and international level. Most of the time, the young nurses, especially the student nurses, are not carried along in issues of policy making. Even when we write or we make attempts to be included, we don't get responses as we expect to get. Okay, so apart from, then also the very last challenge I would like to talk about is the issue of bullying. This bullying is, okay, I will talk about it in the aspect of both in the healthcare system, working class, that is bullying among nurses and also among students.
Thank you very much. Are you done? I'm not sure you are done, or network is fluctuating. Are you done?
Okay, so that's all I'll be talking about.
Okay,
now.
Thank you very much for challenges you have mentioned. Before I allow others to come in, can I ask you, do you have suggestions on how do you think some of these challenges, can really be improved, addressed? Because you are a very important voice to reckon with, and you have given us these challenges, and we are so glad to hear them. We want to hear from you. What's the way forward? What are the solutions that you think we will be, if they are put in place, you'll be excited about? Can you give us some of them? Thank you. And after that, I would like the elders in the house to contribute to that. Over to you, Khadija.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ma. Okay, thank you very much for the question, Ma. If asked for my own opinion, the very first thing that NUNSA or young nurses in the country would like to ask or demand for is the need to transmit a good level of discipline and respect to nurses. Also, we would like to bridge the gap between the gap of disjunction between the old nurse and the young nurses.
Go ahead. Khadija, please.
Also, the increase in synergy between the student nurse and then the registered nurses in the nursing profession. Hello, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, our president.
Go ahead. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
I think she has.
No, she's there. Can you go on? Okay, Professor Adejimo have something to say, so let's hear him. Over to you, Adejimo.
Well, thank you so much. I have tried to follow the trend of our contributions and the questions that came off and online. I would like to respond to the question that talks about non or partial inclusion of young nurses when it comes to issues related to policy formulation and direction of the trajectory of nursing in Nigeria. May I say, we have to be careful addressing this one. I teach policy formulation at the master's level in the Masters of Research and Public Policy in the university. And from external literature, we are encouraged to carry our stakeholders along, but essentially for data gathering. It's the data we gather from relevant stakeholders that we put together to draft policies. And I know there are many avenues through which young nurses could hear their views. both formal and informal avenues. In terms of formal avenue, you are recognized as an establishment, as an institution, that is the University Nursing Students Association. And I'm sure you know how to access people like the registrar, people like the chair of the board of the Nursing Council, and other avenues through which nurses express, we as nurses express our grievances and our desires and our pleas to make our voices count. May I say, we need to probably know a little more the technique by which we can communicate our needs, our worries through the appropriate channel, so that when we present our issues, we will be credible and evidence-based financiers or measures can be factored into policy formulations. May I say again, even where you are not sufficiently mindful or aware of the mechanisms by which you can hear your voices, you as our president can harvest comments, questions, worries, desires from our teaming over, is it 43,000 student nurses that we have in the country. We need to leverage on their voices by harnessing, by filtering, by identifying the firm issues that we package, and we take this to appropriate quarters using the appropriate means and the appropriate words. But again, may I tell you, FYNI is also another offshoot, another organization for you to make your voices count before all relevant stakeholders and those who consume our services. And that's one of the major goals of FYNI. And by you speaking, Adiza, saying this, you are already speaking to a global audience. And I must let you know, even if you do not perceive it, that the entire structure
You said they want to see your face.
I have my video is on. If it's not showing, that's a different thing. Or maybe I come over to chat. My video is on. So my video is on. Okay, so so what I'm saying is, FYNI is the gap to help you to also make your voices count and to be heard, you know, by those who are critical stakeholders in this business. And I am assuring you that with the little you have said, you have already put spanners into the works already. You know, when it comes to the need to ensure that you and your voices will be heard and that your voices will count. That I can assure you. That's one of the things we do is advocacy. And by you saying that, you have already given us, you know, another assignment concerning mechanisms by which we will need to, you know, make sure that people hear your voices. But again, let your issues be presented in such a way that our leaders will be willing to listen to your very constructive comments. We appreciate you.
Okay, thank you very much. Over to the registrar again. We have two more questions and then we'll be rounding off. There are so many other questions. We compile all other questions that we will not be able to attend to tonight, and then we will come back. Somebody is asking for scholarship opportunities for younger nurses in order to achieve their full potentials. We will come back to that. Thank you. Let me quickly go back to registrar. And I want to thank you once again, sir. There's a question here that, does Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria have any plan to upgrade nursing schools in Nigeria? I don't know if the registrar is still with us. Hello, registrar, sir. Miss Khadijat just settled with those questions. We have 2 more questions for you. And one of them is talking about upgrading of nursing schools, moving schools to the university in Nigeria. Okay, while we are holding on for the registrar, I don't know if Dr. Ofi wants to add something to say regarding all the questions that we have trashed tonight.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, you cannot hear me. I'm sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear
I'm asking the registrar a question about.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have even mentioned it in my speech that since 2005, the National Midwifery Council had muted the issue of moving all nursing programs into the university. And in 2005, they gave a mandate to the various schools to ensure that they upgrade to university by either the university they are assimilated by the university or affiliated by the university that is nearest to them since 2005. But we were not been able to achieve that. But currently, by 2023, this is 2021, by 2023, all schools would either be in the university or they become colleges of nursing. All the schools, if you don't upgrade to become a university or a college of nursing, then you're on your own, because the services of the council will be withdrawn from such schools. And I'm glad to say that many of the schools are already doing this. The other day in Oye, the Oye University absorbed the School of Nursing in Ado into the University Department of Nursing in Oye that had just started. Exactly, that was the same thing that happened in Akure. Is this in Akure, where the medical school, University of Medical School, which school is that? That happened, all the programs in the School of Nursing were assimilated into the university. We should remember that the universities are not, the schools of nursing are not owned by the council. They are owned by different states or federal or faith-based. And council is encouraging the various proprietors to do exactly what they have suggested. And circulars have gone out to all the schools, federal, state, and the private schools, to say that they should upgrade to become a university, to be assimilated by a university, or they should change into a college of nursing. Because once you are in the college of nursing, once you become a college of nursing, then you are in the HND program, which automatically can be equated, can be taken into the university at any point in time. So the issue of upgrading is not for council to upgrade, it's for council to put up a policy, which they have done. And that had been, as I said, since 2005. But again, we have given a mandate by 2023, you are either in the university or you are in the College of Nursing. If not, you are just hanging and you are nowhere. My registrar is on the ground at the moment. Yes.
Thank you, my chair.
You can add more.
Yes, ma. Thank you very much, my chair. Prof, sorry for just a short break.
That's fine.
Yes.
The question is on what is council doing to upgrade schools into universities?
Yeah, so I thank you very much. My chair has already dwelled on the issue. And like I said, a relevant circular is on ground that has given a mandate to the institution either to go for university system or go for collegiate system of NDHND. And I want to say this directive is starting yielding a positive result. So far, so good. College of Nursing on those states have been absorbed, completely become a faculty of nursing under the University of Medical Science, published by Ondo State. And graduated the first set of students last May. And I want to inform this gathering that I'm going to attend the maiden induction of that particular innovation, which was initiated in 2005 and become positive by first in 2017 by University of Medical Science Ondo State. The second one is College of Nursing Science have been absorbed completely to Faculty of Nursing, Benue State University. And for now, presently, they don't have any School of Nursing. Then the third one coming on board is College of Nursing Science, River State. The government has already made pronouncement that the university should completely absorb the College of Nursing, and the majors has already commenced, and they have already suspended admission into collegiate system, and now they are all in the university level. And I want to also inform this younger generation that we have just had discussion with a number of delegates from Ekiti State, and they also want to key in and to see the possibility of absorbing the Ekiti State College of Nursing into the university. So I want to say that so far so good. This is where we have gone, and like what the chairman has said, the door is still open, and we're still encouraging proprietors, especially at the state level, to absorb their colleges of nursing and become a faculty of nursing, where we can be able to have more graduate nursing in this perspective. And like he has clearly concluded, the focus is by 2023, you either remain a college or you now been absorbed. And I want to say that so far, 16 colleges of nursing has already keyed into NDHND program. They have been already visited by the National Board of Technical Education and approved their ND program, and they have commented. And I wish to say that by next year, the first College of Nursing will have their own accreditation of HND nursing, and that is already after spending 2 years of an initial visit by the NBT. They are going to be visited, and they have their approval to commend the HND into that college. So this is so far so good where we have gone, and the more colleges of nursing are coming on board. Last week, I have released the list of all the colleges, both public and private colleges of nursing to NBT, that are also to be visited and are allowed to initiate the process of advisory visit or resource visit by the NBT. So Prof and the other panelists and the distinguished young Nigerian nurses, this is how far we have gone with the level of either assimilation, absorption, or affiliation. And we're also planning to have a stakeholders meeting of all the stakeholders from the university in the next 2 weeks. And we want to brainstorm and discuss the way forward of how we can streamline and discuss the university education of nursing in this country. Thank you so far.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
There is a message from Oluwashina Omokinwa. It says, I would like to specifically give kudos to the registrar for achieving the online verification now functioning effectively. Well done, sir. That is from Oluwashina Omokinwa everywhere. I want to suggest that there are so many questions in the Q&A section, and if we are not able to respond to all of them, actually we can go in there and begin to provide answers. I mean, the panelists, Dr. Bola Ofi, myself, Professor Adejimo, there are so about 48 questions in the Q&A session, so that we can actually respond to all those questions, and we don't need to read all of them out. But the last question, somebody tried to throw more light into it and said that the way the coordinators of the schools are treating the nursing students is what that person was trying to refer to. That is very important that people should teach and address and train and give every opportunity to young ones to be able to feel ability to be able to express themselves. So that's what that person was talking about. Try to make explanation for those coordinators and the principals and the provosts of the various colleges and schools of nursing. So I just wanted to add that to the question that was asked earlier on. And then there are some questions that people are asking. Tochukwu Okorie wants to know that what is council doing about quackery? That quackery is becoming an order of the day in Nigeria. And she really wants to know, is there anything that council is doing about it? And this person, Tochukwu Okorie, is interested in finding out what exactly we are doing about that. So maybe we can take that before we return back to Khadija. If she has returned here, we take like 2 or more questions and then we'll be done for tonight because the questions are many. But I want to encourage us to please answer them live. We can go into the chat and just type the answer to them, some of those questions, so that we don't take all of them. So maybe we should hear about the quackery issue, response about that, if there are things that NUNSA Midwifery Council is doing. And I think this is a very important opportunity and platform for us. We want to appreciate you, sir, for throwing light and making things that some of us may not be aware of, and hearing them and knowing that, oh, so this is going on, like this vital information about head of nursing schools, head of departments of nursing coming together in 2 weeks' time to really discuss the moving forward of university education for nursing in this country. That's fantastic. And that's important information that many of us, are just hearing here on this platform. Thank you, sir. So over to you concerning this question. And I would like to know if Miss Khadija is back so that we can actually refer back to our questions. Over to you, sir, Registrar.
All right, Prof. Thank you very much. To respond to the issue of quackery in nursing, the NUNSA Midwifery Council is doing a lot in line with the Section 21 of the Act of NUNSA Midwifery Council that empower the council to fight the quackery. And relevant provisions of the Act is also given at the strength to work on this. And we cannot fight quackery alone. It's a collective responsibility. When I say collective responsibility, to all nurses must join hands together to fight and protect the integrity of our profession. We have established various states NUNSA Midwifery committees in all the 36 states and Abuja, and it is part of their responsibility to receive information, and they are the ones to submit this information to the NUNSA Midwifery Council. We have a solidified legal team that we have been working together. When we have cases of them, and as I'm talking to you, we have not less than 10 cases of quackery in the various level of courts of competent jurisdiction across this country. And they are doing very well, and they are attending to the issue. A number of arrests have been made of those that are participating in this quackery, and the council lawyers are doing very well. I want to tell you that there is no month that we don't have a case either in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Kaduna, Abuja, where our lawyers are not going to attend. And we have been also working along with the Federal Ministry of Health, the legal unit, and we're also attending to those quackery. So I want to appeal to the younger one. Issue of fight of quackery is a collective responsibility. We need to join hands together. And that's why we have a better structure at all the states, and you can either give information about a quackery, information you know about it, or how do you think the information, or those that are practicing quackery and we barely use the name of their profession, they can be arrested and then before the court of competent jurisdiction, and now it will protect the integrity of operation. Additionally, the issue of our 42-year-old acts that have been making it a bit loose, and that's why people are doing what they are doing. I want to inform this House that this law has undergone review at the floor of the Senate of the National Assembly. It has gone to first reading, second reading, and it's awaiting the third reading. And now before it been passed, a number of relevant review was made on that law in order to give more strength and more capability and more power to bite on those that are culprit. And that is, I'm sure, that will give more plus and give more credibility to the profession and to NUNSA Midwifery Council. So I want to assure you have been working hard and strongly. We have made a number of advocacy, and the legislative arm of government has responded to our plea and our request, and our acts have been reviewed and or rather undergoing review. And very soon, hopefully before the end of the year, it will now have the last reading in the floor of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then we now go and pursue the concurrent at the National Assembly. That's House of Representatives. And we have been involving and we have been lobbying and making advocacy to stakeholders both at the Senate and the National Assembly. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm reading these comments just for those who are head of nursing departments, head of provost of colleges of nursing and so on. And it's still explaining how young nurses are treated. This person, Shagun Owade, said, most nursing students experience frustration during clinical placements due to lack of support from nurses. Inappropriate supervision and bullying from nurses, like shouting on students in front of the patients and other health professionals. I believe it will go a long way if there can be a guideline and legislation to train nurses on the ward on how to support and promote the dignity of nursing students in clinical areas. Thank you very much, Nurse Ruben Ziraki Marcos. We appreciate that those comments, and I believe those who are concerned are on this platform because it is not just all about young nurses, and that comment is well taken. There's a question here from an anonymous attendee, but I think Dr. Bola Ofi and the registrar has attended to that question. It's talking about if BNSC is the standard basic education in nursing, then why has Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria not enforced affiliation of all School of Nursing to university and gradually phase off School of Nursing? So I think all the responses from both Registrar and Nursing and Midwifery Council has addressed that 2023, the final whistle will blow, and we got that letter in my university, and we are really working seriously, towards it. And the last part of that question then says, what then is the need for 2 years community nursing program if this is already in place? So, well, if you can hear some, highlights onto why this is very important for us. It's not only a Nigerian issue. How did we get here and why is it important? Thank you very much, sir. Is Madam Khadijat back? Because your questions are waiting for you. Okay, sir, over to you, Registrar, sir. I think we have 2 more questions and we'll be gone. Khadija, if you are in, let me know. Over to you, sir.
I think, Prof, I have spoken a lot on this issue of community nursing and community midwifery, yes, and at different fora across this country. And I've explained the circumstances and why we introduce this kind of lower cadre. It's not the way the people misinterpret that it's a strategy to lower. That doesn't look lowering. That is nothing like lowering the standards. That is nothing like lowering the entry requirement. But today, Nigerians, when you go to hard-to-reach and community areas, we need nurses and we need midwives. How many professional nurses that are willing to work in the hard-to-reach communities and hard-to-reach areas in this country? And the National Midwifery Council, we respond to the call by the National Council of Health that there is need to get nurses at all levels. And the only way is to identify a community base, train her or train him on that perspective, go back to that community after 2 years of monthly service, come back to School of Nursing and train as a professional nurse, and go back to the same community. At the end of that, of your professional training as a registered nurse or registered midwife, you can go to anywhere in the world and continue your work. And that's a strategy. And I want to tell you, it is working. Already we have over 843 licensed community midwives in this area. And one of the NGOs conducted research in some of the communities that started and attracted this community. For the last 2 years, so many communities have not recorded a single maternal mortality in this country because of the presence of this community midwives in those, and they are not registered as community midwives. They are registered as a licensed community midwife. And we have already issued a circular last year. Board has granted approval that those trained as licensed community midwife can go back to School of Midwifery, spend additional 2 years, and become qualified registered professional midwives. And those that are already willing, and they have already commenced admitting this younger one. So there is no jupiter and there is no stagnation or strangulation on anybody's future. It was designed in order to give accessibility, and there is no compulsion. Those that are advanced with the degree program and the other later program, please continue on that. Leave those that they don't have to go on what they have, and they can now educate their own community with the lower things they can do. So it's not a compulsory policy. It's not a compulsory educational program for those that are still complaining. Leave those that are interested to do their own, and it's for the purpose. Nigeria is a complex country. Nigeria has a lot of problems in different parts of the country. So those that are so advanced and they can go to the degree university, please, we appreciate and encourage every community to have a graduate nurse, all right, to work in the community and to work in the hard-to-reach areas, and allow those that doesn't have graduate and other registered professional nurses go in their community to have their own training of their own community. And this is a program, or rather this training, is not an open-ended training. It is a close-ended. It is designed, before you are enrolled, you must sign an MOU with the local government that you are going to employ this cadre. And already the MOU has been granted, and most of them, they are enrolled into the program with the scholarship, or rather with salary grade level 3. So that at the end of their training, they go back to the same community. As I'm talking to you, 75% of those that were trained have already been employed. The remaining 25%, they're either at the process or about to complete the process. So we are mindful of what's happening in this country. We're not just training to allow this younger one to be thrown in the labor market. No, we are mindful of what is happening. Any state that is stealing, we must sign an agreement or MOU with the municipal local government that these younger ones must be trained, must be employed, and go back to the hard-to-reach community areas at the primary health centers and work on that direction. So that's all I will say, Prof, about this community nursing and community midwifery.
You, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We have just 6 minutes more, and it is a very wonderful opportunity and heartwarming experience to have our very own digital registrar in the house asking all questions, because tonight is a young nurse. He has decided to just come down with us, respond to all our questions. So we're going to give room to somebody to unmute and ask the question that is coming from your heart, so that you don't. Last time we allowed Mr. Filade from National Midwifery Council of Nigeria to ask a live question, and that was fantastic, and he gave us insight into some things. So I don't know why Miss Khadijat's internet network has been epileptic, so we've not been able to get much from her.
I'm back now.
You're back now. Okay. So let's allow one unmute and ask the question, and we are going to be closing in the next 5 minutes. Please, can we unmute one person to ask a question that is coming? And while that one is coming on, so that the registrar will give the last comments on responding.
We'll choose who that we will omit, so we'll not omit too many people. You'll choose one person that has responded.
One person who has a burning question to ask. Okay, if we don't have, let me read the question from Damilola Benson. And the question says, I want to ask about uniform scope of practice for nurses. I have noticed that there are diverse hospital policies, some for or against nurses going into the vein, taking blood samples, taking deliveries in hospitals. Can we have a role description that is uniform for all first-level nurses without conflicting issues? That is a question from someone. Have we omitted somebody to ask a live question? If not, we respond to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, ma. My name is Tola Yetunde. Joining this webinar from Hong Kong. Thank you very much, our registrar. Thank you, Professor, and thank you to the panelists. So I have one question. One question and one observation that I have made. The first question is about, we understand that there is a current global move in the nursing profession, which is driven by research data. And I want to know what the Nursing and Midwifery Council is doing to ensure that nurses conduct research and their research is funded. And then the second thing is that I noticed that when nurses become registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, they don't have, or they are not given alongside their licenses and their badge, the practice standard booklet. So I want to know, or I would like to say that this should be something that the Nursing and Midwifery Council should please try to include alongside the license and the nursing badge that nurses will get. Thank you very much. Hello?
Hello, sorry. I hope we had that question from Ms. Tola yesterday also. And we would like to have a response to that. I don't know whether we all had.
Yeah, I had the question, Prof.
Okay, sir.
And the issue should go back to our principal. If our principal deny her giving her her badge, and I know the best of my ability, the best of my knowledge, badge are available and they will give badge. We don't give badge to anybody. Any principal that is sending either introduction letter or any other, no. These are very delicate and highly sensitive material. Can only be given to the principal. And only can now receive this badge from the council. Those at the university level, I make sure during induction, we handed over their badge to the head of the department along the side with during the adaptation program or during the induction program. So I don't think there is an issue of research driven and what the council is doing. We don't have, there was no grant given to the National Midwifery Council to sponsor, but however, with the little money we have, National Midwifery Council approved last board, granted approval of conduct a research in a particular proposal submitted by a research committee. So if there is, we are still working hard with other partners to sponsor any research, and if we have, for now, council has no grant to sponsor any research. So for any to have money, we don't have money to sponsor any research. And we also have a standard National Midwifery Council journal to encourage education of research that conducted by nurses. So that clause is provide a kind of recognition to those that publish their research through our journal, and we also encourage that conductor research attracts a number of credit units that you may use in also renew your license. So I think these are some kind of support that we give to those that are conducting research. But issue I want to emphasize, we don't have grants, but we are contacting NGOs and partners to support the council. And we have the Board of Nursing Midwifery Council have just approved the Constitution of Nursing, Institute of Nursing Research, last board's meeting. And we are working hard to see that we also have the approval of the Honorable Minister before the institute will take off. And we have put a number of measures how we can safeguard and protect and support these initiatives that have been coming on board and approved by the Board of National Midwifery Council. And that's why we don't allow any individual or group of individuals to put a similar nursing institute research, or rather Institute of Nursing Research, because we have already have one and the board has granted approval, and we're working hard to see the taking of this particular institute and support and provide research initiative and everything related to research.
Thank you very much, sir. And we are closing, gradually coming to the end. But please permit me to allow Miss Khadijat. So she's back online, and just to respond to one more question and then close up with the previous one she was trying to explain before she left in 2 minutes. The question says, how best do you think National Midwifery Council of Nigeria and other nursing associations can encourage the building of the leadership capacities of young nurses in Nigeria? That's for you, Ms. Khadijat. Over to you.
And once again, I apologize for the break in transmission. NUNSA, as a student body, would like and will appreciate if the Nursing and Midwifery Council can carry the association along in its policy making. I will also want to appreciate NAM, because over the years, I will say to some extent, NAM have been trying, because most of the time when we reach out to them, they pay listening ears and they're always willing to attend to our questions and queries. But we've heard little or almost nothing of such from NAN, from NMCN. Also, we would like to bridge the gap in communication between NMCN and then the student nurses. Most of the time when the student nurses have inquiries or issues to make from the Nursing and Midwifery Council, we are always asked to write through the school or relate the issue to the school, then the school relates to NMCN. We would like this gap to be bridged. We want a situation or a channel where students can communicate directly with the association.
Okay, you are off there again. We cannot hear you. It's unfortunate that network has not been fair to us as nursing students tonight in this interaction, but we appreciate you. We thank you so much for coming. We cannot hear you again. Can I ask Dr. Bola Ofi to say a parting word before we all leave, and then I will hand over back to the moderator for tonight. Thank you very much, Dr. Bola Ofi. We lost Miss Khadijat again because of putting across our thoughts, and it's unfortunate.
Thank you very much. Congratulations once again. I'd just like to quickly comment on the issue of leadership. That leadership is not developed overnight. It's a process that you continue to develop as you are a student in the profession, as a student nurse, or wherever you are, whether School of Nursing or what have you. And gradually within the process of becoming a registered nurse, I can remember very well when I was a student nurse that we were given opportunity at 200 level to charge the ward. And I remember in the past that used to happen in UCH. A second year, you are asked to charge the ward. The staff nurses are there, the ward sister is there, but you have been given the mantle of office that particular week to take over and run the ward like a ward manager. And that's where gradually the leadership skills are developed. So we talking about leadership at professional level, having workshops and things like that, it's not the issue. You continue developing your leadership skills right through the program of studentship, right through to the time you become a staff nurse, and you continue to see yourself as a leader on the ward, because below you, you have student nurses, you have auxiliary staff on the ward, and so on and so forth. So please, let's get this concept of the fact that it is not something that is done, that's developed overnight, but over time, right from student days. So I like to appreciate Professor Adejumo for this initiative. I wish them greater heights for the future. I hope that the initiative would develop aspects of the providing funds or assisting young nurses to access funds in the future through the various organizations that they themselves have related to over time. Definitely, it would come. The initiative would expand. The initiative will become much robust, and other services will be provided to assist the young nurses to access education, to access best practices across the globe, and come home to enrich our own program as well. And then, of course, pass down disseminate their own experiences to younger nurses of tomorrow. Greater heights to nursing profession in Nigeria and globally, and I wish young nurses greater heights in their various endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. With that, we are actually going to close, and I want to say a very big thank you to everyone before the moderator takes over. We have over 348 participants in, and that is fantastic. It shows to us as young nurses, as every one of us, that we're really interested in nursing affairs and nursing situations and nursing information and nursing everything. So I'm glad to be a nurse. I'm happy to be a nurse. If I come again, I'm going to be a nurse. And so I'm really very excited, and I thank you so much all, for being wonderful, fantastic and wonderful participants and audience. Thank you so much, Dr. Ofi, for the parting words. Ms. Khadijat, are you done? Do you have one word to say if you are back to us before I ask Registrar to say his parting word? Are you back in? Can you say a parting word? Oh, she's not yet in. Okay, Registrar, over to you. The final word as we all leave.
All right, thank you, Prof.
I'm here, ma.
Thank you, Prof. I want to assure you that Council will continue to support this initiative and continue to support the younger one, and will continue to mentor them. And I want to assure you that our doors are open, we'll listen to them and we'll guide them and we'll respond to their challenges. I wonder why the National President is saying Council is not responding. I granted our audience just a few weeks ago, and all our challenges and questions, and I answered. And I also give her the same opportunity on a quarterly basis that any client they have opportunity or they have issue, I'm free. They are free to come and see me. I will address that issue. So it's very unfortunate. So I encourage the leadership of the student nurses, please have a courage to contact me at any time, but not through the phone or maybe phone call they are expecting. We don't have time for that, but in a formal way, when they come with their problem, we will address it accordingly. Other issues, there are minor issues that can be resolved at the school level and that cannot be resolved at the council level. So when they have such collective one, they can be able to bring it up. And this is our strategy that we can now carry them along, implement their policies, and also show them the guide how they can be able to formulate policies at various levels of their administration. Thank you, Prof, and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. I think I had her. We are so glad and excited. Before we give final vote of thanks by the moderator, can I allow Miss Khadijat to please try to come on again? I heard her saying, I'm here. The Registrar has responded to some of the comments, but I'd like you to just, let's be assured that you are here. Over to you, Miss Khadijat.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. And Registrar, sir, thank you very much for the recent support. I actually made that statement based on what we had in the past two or last administration in the association. And I must say that recently you have been supportive and we look forward to more of your support. And I'm also using this to inform you that you'll be hearing from us more often. Professor, Mr. and Mrs. Adejumo, thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you very much for considering NUNSA worthy to be here today. And I'm also using this opportunity to appreciate fellow NUNSA for their support to the administration, and I want to assure them that my promise to the association still stands, and I'm sure that together with their support, we can move the association forward and also the nursing profession forward. Our motto still remains service with knowledge and skills. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, moderator. Thank you, sir, Registrar. Thank you, Dr. Ofi. Thank you, Ms. Khadijat. You are also greatly appreciated, and we are so grateful, and we thank you so much for making tonight. Thank you so much. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much to our panelists. Thank you, our Registrar. Thank you, NUNSA President. Thank you, Dr. Ofi. Thank you, Professor Bayo Adejumo. Thank you, Professor Priska Adejumo. We cannot thank you enough. And I've been seeing comments. This has been, if you have enjoyed this session, please go to the chat box, drop a thumbs up. Let us know you enjoyed the session. And thank you so much. In all, young nurses are statutory in the future of nurses. The old nurses will not be there forever. The young nurses need to move in, get mentored, and be mentored and get all the necessary skills you need. Quickly, I would invite Mrs. Ann Bright to talk to us about the questionnaire and the survey. One of the things that Professor Bayo Adejumo said is evidence-based. Anything we are going to do should be evidence-based. So FYNI is carrying out a research. We are doing a needs assessment. So please, Mrs. Bright, will quickly talk to us about that in the next 20 minutes. And I promise you, in the next 5 minutes.
Sorry, not that 2 minutes, in the next 2 minutes.
Yes.
2 minutes, you should actually post the link here and just tell us what it's all about. Finish.
Exactly, exactly. So Mrs. Bright, please, I hope you have posted the link now to everybody, not to us. Thank you. Mrs. Bright, you are up.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Good evening, Mas. Good evening, sirs. Thank you for having me. I've actually posted the link. Okay. Sorry, start my video.
You can go ahead.
Okay,
Your mouth
I've posted
speaking.
the link. Hello, Ma, I can hear you.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll post it again. We currently as the maintenance of young nurses in Nigeria, and we've discovered that they, just like Professor Adejumo, we said that some nurses are loitering and they are lost, and that is what FYNI aims to bridge, to ensure that nurses are mentored to become the future leaders, future nurse educators, future nurse clinicians that will help the profession to move forward. And this study started like a month ago, and as of yesterday, we've had about 129 people fill the questionnaire, and we still have more people to fill this questionnaire for us. So we are just encouraging everyone. We want to meet you at the point of your needs and not just assume that this is what you want, but we want to actually know what you want. And this can only be known or ascertained if you fill this questionnaire. From there will be the mentorship program we commence in earnest. So I will encourage you, I will urge you to fill the questionnaire, and we'll be able to serve you better from the information we've gotten so far from the questionnaire. Thank you. So I'll be posting the link shortly on the on this webinar, the chat box, and as well as on the platform, WhatsApp platform. So please kindly help us fill the questionnaire so we can serve you better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Bright. The link for the questionnaire has been posted already, and please still look out for it. We implore you to please fill it before we finish this meeting tonight. I'll invite Ms. Ololade Ruth for the closing remark and announcement. You can see your thumbs up coming in, everybody. Thank you so much. Keep it coming in. Let it just come in. Ms. Ololade Ruth for closing remark and announcement.
Thank you so much, moderator, and good evening, everyone. It's so glad, I'm really so glad to witness this occasion, and I believe that every participant, have had a nice time with us this evening. So I really want to thank God, for helping us to make this come to pass. And I also want to thank our guests, Dr. Bola Ofi, Dr. Faruk Abubakar, and Miss Khadijat Musa. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. And I will quickly just want to beg us, participants, to please follow us on all our social media platforms, because you'll be getting a lot of information from those platforms. There's a mentorship plan that is ongoing, and by the time is being cooked and ready to be served, I'm sure you get those information from our platforms on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. All right. So, and I also want to quickly say this: we need testimonies and feedbacks from everyone who have partook from the last webinar and this current one. Please kindly send in your feedbacks, whatever thing you learned and how this initiative has helped you so far. Please kindly send those feedbacks to us. you can actually look for my name on each WhatsApp platform. Just look for @TheRootOli, or you also communicate to all other admins. But when you are sending, kindly target feedback or testimony. We'd like to share it on our platforms. And also, I also want to remind you that this webinar is bi-monthly. That is, it comes up every other month. Okay, so the next webinar will be coming up in January. And of course, if you keep following us, you get further information on our platforms. I also want to plead with us, because sometimes we see a lot of people leaving the WhatsApp pages, after each webinar. Kindly stay with us. We have a lot of things we have planned for all nurses, and so please, I'll beg us to just stay with us. And I believe God will help us to deliver everything we have planned to deliver for nurses in Nigeria and abroad. So once again, I'd like to appreciate everyone for joining and for staying till the end of the session. I can see a lot of nurses both in Nigeria and abroad, and it's really nice to have everyone together, in this webinar. Also, lastly, I'll say that the question and answers the questions rather that we have not been able to cover will be addressed, and a newsletter will be sent to the platforms by God's grace. So once again, I appreciate everyone. Can you tag somebody in the chat box? Just chat someone randomly and say, thank you for sticking to the end. I just want you to be interactive anyway. So just tag anybody. It's a means of networking anyway. Tag somebody in the chat box and say, thank you for staying till the end. All right, so see you again in January. Thank you so much for joining. We have come to the end of the webinar. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, moderator. Thank you to all the panelists, to the admin. Thank you to the participants. Thank you for joining. We have come to the end of the session. Thank you. Thank you.